Hi friends, Janet the Moline Library here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the woven felt heart that is part of the February craft kit. These are available now and you can pick one up either in the library, upstairs at the second floor information desk, in the lobby, and you can always still come by and request one for curbside pickup. In your kit you'll have the instructions and you will have some felt. You need to take one gray and then either the pink or the red, and we will be getting started with that. Your instructions do have a big oval. If you want to cut that out and use that as a template, you can. If you would rather just kind of freehand an oval onto the fabric, you can do that too. What's really important is that the two ovals that you end up with, one of each color, ends up being very, very close to the same size and shape. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. All right, here you can see I've got my two pieces of fabric and they're pretty close to the same. The other thing that I want to check is I'm going to fold them in half and make sure that not only are they same to each other, but that the two halves are kind of the same as well. So now that I've got my two pieces of material cut into the right shape, we are going to make 3 cuts coming from the folded part up towards the rounded part. So I'm going to start in the middle, kind of bisect the middle, and then 2 more, one on each side of that middle. That should keep them pretty close to being the same size. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So one up the middle, and then one on each side. And I'm just going to compare these, make sure that I've got them cut to about the same length. One isn't really much longer than the other. Okay, so that looks good. Now comes the fun part, which is the weaving. So to get started, you're going to lay them kind of facing each other, the cut ends facing each other. And we're going to call these, let's say, A, B, C, and D, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you could start either way. I'm going to start with A going through 1. So right now, this number 1 is the one that I'm working with. So I've got here where 1 is on top of A. The pink is on top of the gray, or you could look at it as the gray is going through the pink. And then I need to switch that for the next one. So next I'm going to take the pink loop and put it through that gray loop, or number 2. And then for the next one, I'm going to switch again and pull the gray through the pink. All right. And then for the final one, we need the pink to go through the gray. It seems kind of confusing when you first get started, but once you get going, it should make a little bit more sense. All right, so that is what it would look like. So you're not just going over and under, you're actually pulling these fingers through each other so that you can see that's right in the middle of there, and the pink is inside the gray. All right, and then to do the next one, we're going to come over to number 2 here on the pink. That's the next one we're going to work with. And since the first time we started with the pink on top and the gray going inside, this time we're going to switch, and we're going to have the pink going inside the gray. And then the next one, the gray goes inside the pink. Pink goes inside the gray. And then the final one, the gray goes inside the pink. Now you may have noticed that with that first round that I did, this one here looks like it's just kind of hanging out, and that's okay. Until you get all 4 strands woven together, there will be Some that seem like they're just kind of not secure, but they will be at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these. Gray inside pink, pink inside gray, gray inside pink, pink inside gray. And now that I've finished this third row, it's starting to feel a little crowded. And that's just the nature of weaving. So what I'm going to do is just kind of move everything down, start tugging a little bit to make sure I've still got the gray hanging out on this end, and then I've got my pink here. So then for the final one, I'm going to put the pink inside the gray inside the pink, pink inside the gray, and finally the gray inside the pink. And that is actually it. You are done, but as I mentioned before, you might need to do a little bit of tugging to make sure everything lines up right. Make sure that you know, everything's looks okay, and that it's nice and tight in there. So that's what we do. Just kind of give it a couple of tugs until everything feels good. And that is what it ends up looking like. And then it's actually kind of a basket. So you can use this in a lot of different ways. You could, you know, hang it up as an ornament. You could, you know, just leave it as a decoration and make a kind of a bumpy coaster. But because it's woven, it does make that basket, which would be possibly a good way to give some treats to people that you care about. So it's kind of a little pouch. You can do a lot of different things with it. I hope you've enjoyed this and that you make a couple of them. If you'd like to send me some photos, I'd love to see them. Hopefully you will start visiting us again. The library will be open starting February 1st, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday from 9 to 1. We're very happy that we can have you back inside the library at that time. So I hope to see you soon. Until then, happy crafting.